Hello and welcome. I am dealing with the second topic of editorial with Hindu dated 15th of 15th of August. The topic is talking tough. Now we again have some words over here carrying some special meanings in the passage. The first one is talking tough, not giving in, not accepting, not succumbing. These are the meanings. Interlocutor, one who participates in a talk or dialogue, or rather conversation. Ethnic, belonging to subgroup, belonging to subgroup, subgroup formed out of language, out of caste, out of religion, things like that. Insurgency is revolt. Intransigent is something adamant, refusing to accept a change. Delineate, describing with precision. So these are the words I have found and marked over here. Talking tough, not giving in. What is to be kept and what is there not to be succumbed to. The subtopic says that the center must re-engage with NSC and IM without giving in to its arbitrary demands. So the center must uh, involve again in talks with NSC and IM and should talk tough. Do not allow their arbitrary demands to go in. Now, this is what the subtopic says. Let us go ahead with the passage. 5 years since the signing of a framework agreement between the Indian government and National Socialist Council of Nagaland, Isaac Mawa, the deadlock in the talks that came about in October 2019 persists with the emergence of bottlenecks. So there was a framework agreement some 5 years ago in 2015 between Government of India and NSCIM, and the deadlock in the talks came about in October 2019, and that deadlock still persists. And while that still being there, some bottlenecks have also emerged. Now let us go ahead. This was the opening sentence, and this sentence, the questions raised in it, like emergence of bottlenecks. Now what are the bottlenecks that have emerged? While the deadlock is still there, is to be understood from this passage. The NSCNIM has demanded that Nagaland Governor R.N. Ravi should be removed as the interlocutor for talks on the Naga Accord. So the bottleneck is that the NSCNIM is demanding removal of Governor R.N. Ravi as interlocutor for the talks on Naga Accord. Sorry. Talks were expanded in 2017 by including other Naga factions under the banner the Naga National Political Groups, NNPGs. So it says that other political groups also added this NSC and IM in the talk, and so there was some expansion from this side. Clearly, the governor's letter in June addressed to Chief Minister Naifu Rayo alleging collapse of law and order and that armed gangs who questioned the sovereignty and integrity of nation were engaging in blatant extortion touched a sore spot for NSCIM. Now it says that governor had addressed a letter to the chief minister of Nagaland, Naifu Rayo, sometime in June this year. That later alleged collapse of law and order in the state. And it said that armed gangs are working against sovereignty and integrity of the nation by engaging in open extortion. Extortion is taking money from general civilians. This touched a sore spot. This gave something sorry thing for NSC and IM, which is headed by the Chief Minister. While the group defended the practice by terming it tax collection, the latter was not entirely off the mark. Now it says that the defense, the argument on as defense given by the group. What is that group? The NSC and IM is the group. By the group termed that extortion as tax collection. Now they say then that is tax collection and not extortion. But the fact that they collect money remains there. So the letter was not entirely off the mark. It was not off the mark. The basic thing of collecting money from civilians is still there. You call it tax or you call it extortion. The money collection is there. Yet this has become an issue for peace process with NSC and IM, going on to release details of 2015 framework agreement that has not been shared in public domain so far. So it says that NSC and IM is looking for the framework agreement to be published on public domain so that they know actually what is there, but that has not been done so far, and that is why this peace process is getting hurt. While the other Naga groups also took exception to the governor's remark to the chief minister, they have differed with the NSC and IM on the demand for Mr. Ravi removal as interlocutor. See, it says that other Naga groups accept that the governor's remark against chief minister is not okay, but they also differ from NSC and IM as regards removal of the governor as interlocutor. So these are the facts that have been given in the first paragraph. The second paragraph, since 2015, the engagement with other Naga groups has increased, even if NSC and IM is perceived as the major rebel organization. Now it says that NSC and IM is taken as major rebel organization, but still other Naga groups have also got involved in the issue ever since 2015 when the framework agreement was signed. The differences between NPGs and NSC and IM are not insignificant. They are not insignificant. They are quite high. The differences between other political groups and NSC and IM are quite high. The NSC and IM still insists on greater Nagalim beyond the boundaries of Nagaland state besides seeking a flag and constitution. And what is the difference? The difference is that whereas NSC and IM is looking for greater Nagalim, an expanded state having more areas in the state, having own flag, an own constitution, a kind of sovereignty, a kind of free state. Most of the LNPGs based in Nagaland, on the other hand, have sought to settle the issue without disturbing state boundaries while keeping the greater Nagalim question in abeyance. Now, what the other political parties say? They say that the boundaries of the state should not be disturbed. This is the difference between NSC and IM and NNPGs. NSC and IM say that we should have expanded boundaries, and NNPG say we do not want to disturb the state boundaries while keeping the Greater Nagalim question in abeyance. Now, the questions related to Greater Nagalim, they are silent over it. They are not talking about it. Any moves to alter boundaries will intensify ethnic conflicts and insurgencies beyond Nagaland, especially in Manipur. Now it says that it is a sort of remark. It is a remark that any alteration of boundaries will 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 have will have uh, any move to alter the boundaries will mean taking land areas from adjoining states like Manipur, Andhra, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, etc., and that will create ethnic conflicts and revolt. The conflicts by subgroups and revolts, not only in Nagaland but also in other adjoining states, especially in Manipur. This is what it says. The increasing support in Nagaland for a solution without affecting boundaries should have compelled NSC and IM to move away from intransigent position. Now, solution without expanding the boundaries is against the issues which NSC and IM is looking for. So definitely that will dilute their position, and they are quite adamant that no compromise on that issue. Rather, the expansion of the state must take place. Instead, the rebel group has sought to redefine the talks process by expressing its lack of confidence in Mr. Ravi. So, what the rebel group has taken another issue that they do not have any confidence in Mr. Ravi. So, please remove him as an interlocutor. The NNPG's political parties and other civil society organizations also took exception to the governor's stern letter that went beyond raising concern over law and order. Now, what was the letter? Mr. Ravi wrote that functions such as transfer and posting of officials in state in charge of law and order above the district level should be done with his approval. Now, the governor's letter states that transfer and posting of officials in charge of law and order above district level should be done with his approval, and this is not acceptable to the chief minister or NNPGs or civil society organizations or even other political parties. So this has gone against their pleasure, against their will. But they have delineated clear differences with the NSC and IM on peace talks issue. But the matters related to the boundary of the state is a clear-cut difference between NSC and IM and other political parties. The central government needs to take their concerns on board and reiterate its commitment to finalizing the Naka Accord while seeking to re-engage with NSC and IM without giving in to its arbitrary demands. The central government must intervene, must highlight the concerns of those political factions over there in Nagaland, must put those concerns on board and emphasize the commitment to finalize the Naga Accord. This is important. That has not been finalized as yet. That has been put on hold. The things have been put on hold, and that should be finalized and published on public domain so that everyone can see it, while seeking to re-engage with NSC and IM without allowing their arbitrary demands. What are their arbitrary demands? Arbitrary demands relate to the sovereignty and integrity of India. So this is suggestion. This the conclusion is suggestive, and unless the central government intervenes and brings those concerns or highlights those concerns and finalizes the Naga Accord, the peace talks will have no effect. This is the suggestion. So with this, I close today the and request you to like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.